everyone, a very warm welcome to you. My name is Nick, we're on the zxspectrum 48K and we're going to be playing Blue Max, yes, a shooter, a World War I shooter, published by US Gold in 1984, also come out on the Commodore 64 and originated on the Atari 8-bit computers. Now you play the part of Max Chatsworth, he is the Blue Max, it's World War I and we must take out a number of targets on different bombing runs. That's essentially it. Don't crash into anything, the wind will be a factor here occasionally, and it's stage based. You have to take off first of all by hitting 100 mph. Once you've done that, press forward on the joystick, it should take off, there we go. Crashes involve instant death, not landing properly is instant death, so we've got to take out as much stuff as we can. Now you'll see lots of tanks on the map as well. They are enemy tanks in World War I. We blow up everything essentially, so everything is a target. If you see anything flashing, which happens at later levels, they are primary targets and we have to destroy those as well. So what can we say so far in this early stage? Well, it scrolls sort of okay on this oblique view, which is quite refreshing. The plane is a bit far off the screen for me, so I can't really see too much ahead of me. Can't go back unless there's anything I'm doing wrong, which might be the case. Yeah, and that's it really. Just avoid everything. The aircraft is a Sopwith Camel. It's called the Blue Max, but that isn't a blue airplane. I don't know why that should be. It's black in the air. I think when it lands, it looks a little bit green. Right, so we must land on this airstrip now. Bearing in mind, the plane won't take off until we get to 100 mph, so we don't... Oh, man. See, I tried to land. An aircraft got underneath me and it says I'm at the kamikaze training school. Now I do know a poke for this, surprise surprise, where crashes aren't a factor, but I'll have at least one other goal before implementing that. Got more than enough bombs. Basically it's blow up as much stuff as you can to prove you're worthy of the name the Blue Max. Don't know what this is like on the Commodore 64, but I'm sure we'll come to it at some point. Don't think it come out on the Amstrad CPC. Let's try and bomb this library. We hate books. No, miles too late. There's a boat there as well. Don't worry about taking out innocent people, because there's no innocent people in this. World War I, Sopwith Camel, no dogfights that I'm aware of on this either. It's not a bad game. If I had it in 1984, I would have thought it's okay. Would have preferred games like Cyclone or TLL, which isn't quite the same as this because you're still in an aircraft, but you go around an actual map. Can't really complain about the speed because this is the Spectrum. It's doing the best it can. There's a lot of graphics on the screen, a lot of repetition, but you'd expect that for the era. And I'd say this game was okay. It's not blowing my socks off, but for what's there, it's doing a lot of work. Right, come land, Nick, land. Let's have no aircrafts crash into me on purpose. If you are a World War I super baron, I don't know how old you are now, but let me know. Excellent stuff. Right, so we're refueling. I'm not sure we've got enough runway to get up to 100, but we'll quickly find out. Yeah, this could be a bit iffy. We took a while to land there, folks. Right, fuel back up to... Well, I thought it was going to go up to 200. Right. Is that airplane going to get out of the way? I don't want people landing on me when I'm about to take off. Fire button to start it, then forward. Yeah, see, I didn't have enough speed and the craft is immediately blown up. I think it might be poke time. Poke time. The controls you can see there are normal. It's basically, it changes whether it's down on the joystick for the aircraft to go up and up for it to go down or vice versa. So you can have sort of like an analog joystick or like more traditional controls. Keyboard is okay as well, but it's much easier on the joystick. Gravity, it just means the aircraft gradually loses height if you don't do anything. So here comes the Blue Max, who's painted his plane green until he goes up in the air, then it goes black. I like the shadow on the ground. That gives you a little bit of depth, gives you a bit of a chance with the bombing. You do learn the timing. Can't really change the speed of the plane a great deal. I don't know, well, it's World War I, so it must be Germany somewhere. I can't see any military installations here, so it's just an excuse for a game. I haven't played it on the original 8-bit computers. If you have, let me know what this is converted from originally. Wasn't in the arcades. Yeah, so the Blue Max, the Red Baron, he was in World War I Super Ace, wasn't he, really? Was the Blue Max based on a real person? Seems like he should be. But in this game, you are Max Chatsworth. Hooray! Now, I do believe there's a modern day version of this called Blue Max 2001 or 2003, something like that, but it plays roughly the same. I presume that came out on PC, I guess. Right, let's land this thing. As you can see, I haven't died yet. Land. Right, there we go. I think we've got plenty of runway, haven't we? So we've done it. Is that aircraft going to bomb me? No. We won't be completing the whole game. These are never walkthroughs. I don't know why I say that, because I put the graphic up at the start, but there's always someone. We just want to see how it plays, what the graphics are like, what the sound are like, and if you had it as a kid, would you come back to it after 1, 2 or 3 goes? Would you continue with it? As a kid, I think I would have done. It's interesting enough and it's different enough from other games. Oh, I thought the poke was going to work then. Ah. That's a bit strange. Right, we're going to have a go at the poke. It didn't work there. We took off, and what quite often happens in here, the plane gets in the way. So yeah, as a kid, I would have come back to this. It's interesting enough. It's different enough in its own right. It's quite slow, but a kid would have invented a story that goes with it beyond what the cassette inlay said. So yeah, it's overall good. I'll give this a thumbs up, I'd say. Right, now, hopefully we're not dying. One hit on the backwater and you're normally dead, and that's that. Right, I've just gone through that plane, so I presume everything's okay. Yeah, I just flew through that building, so I presume everything is okay with the world now. So let's see at least 2 or 3 stages, and then we'll say bon voyage till this chocks away, and then we're gone. Good, 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 good. If you had this back in the day on any system or any similar games, then please put your comments below. Always like seeing the comments there. It gives the channel a bit of activity, helps with the search as well. It shows that people are interacting with it, which is always super cool. Yay, I took out a boat at least. That means the review's a success, yes? Yes, excellent stuff. Would be good at the end if the Blue Max was versus the Red Baron, but I don't think it happens. It all stays a bit like this, and then you get more and more targets to take out as we destroy that library. Death to all books again. Right, land. Land on the runway. See, normally I would have died there. There's another aircraft there. And we're back there. So that's essentially the game. Take off successfully, land successfully, and in the middle bomb lots of targets as much as you can to try and get the highest score you possibly can. Now, I haven't been hitting too much stuff. I'm always ending up with lots of bombs left over, so I need to be less sparing with the bombs and just drop them everywhere. You can see there's lots and lots of tanks about the place. You get points for hitting them. We're not going to get up to 100 miles an hour here, so hopefully the poke is working in this regard too. Check out the speed in yellow on the bottom left. Let's just get some space. Right. 60. Yeah, so we went a bit on the grass there. Missed that building. Curses. Okay. Right, that's gone. Kaboom! Sorry about your building, folks. Stage 2. Not quite sure how many stages this game has got. I'm sensing when you get to the end it just overlaps and goes to the beginning again. My only gripes about this game is the plane is so far off up the screen. If it had been more in the middle of the screen it might have been a little bit more entertaining. Bit hard to see what's coming up, but I guess that's where a bit of the fun might come as a kid as well, trying to predict what comes next and so forth. No option to parachute out, which that would be an alarming game if it was. And then you walk around the map with a gun or something. That would have been outstanding. Come on, Blue Max. Not to be confused with blue cheese, of course. No one won the war with blue cheese. A plane made out of blue cheese would not be good. Very hard to take off the runway. And you'll be the laughing stock of the whole army. They think, what's up with him? Licks in an airplane of blue cheese. He's gone mad again. It's War Magnus. I'd rather be a World War I ace than in the trenches. That doesn't seem very good, does it? With Trenchfoot, with Blackadder and Baldric. Yeah, so without the Pokemon we would have had enough speed to take off there. Next building, getting gradually more advanced and more complicated as we go along. Kaboom! So yeah, so not much to it really once you got the basic gameplay, but the simple games, I think, on the ZX Spectrum always work the best. Wouldn't stand up by today's standards, so if you're born after the year 2000 and seeing it now, you might not appreciate it as much as me. But you know, you might be a connoisseur of retro gaming, you might like it just as well. But always like seeing your faults, no matter what age you are, because you do tend to look at these through different rose-tinted spectacles, depending on what era you grew up with. So it's not just the game itself, it's nostalgia and memories and remind you of things you did as a kid, that sort of stuff. And that's why retro will always remain strong, whether that be ZX Spectrum, Commodore Amiga, PlayStation, or even PlayStation 4 in the far-flung future. Right, land. Here we go. Land it. That was a brilliant landing by me. I'm a real good air ace, to be honest with you. Haven't really reviewed too many flight simulators as of yet, so maybe I can correct that in the time going forward. The only thing that worries me a bit, because I'd be hopeless at it, because normally there's lots and lots of different instructions and you know, landing gear, map, and all that sort of stuff. And I don't think I'll be that super hot. We'll do one last stage of this one, then we'll call it a day, see if anything changes. But you know, it's essentially the same stage each time, getting more and more advanced. I can see that building there. There's more tanks on the ground. I think normally you have to get a minimum score. They've only just rebuilt that building from last time. They must be getting quite annoyed. They see a Sopwith camel on the horizon flying up. We think, oh, we know what's going to happen here. Actually, how many bombs could a Sopwith camel hold? I don't think it could hold 30 bombs, could it? Or could it? I don't know. The two main biplanes then were the Sopwith camel and the Spitfire, wasn't there? I can't remember any others. Were there any others? Let me know about that too. I haven't got a Top Trumps pack of World War One planes, unfortunately. I've got a lot of Top Trumps cards. I don't think there is one. I could well be wrong, though. I'm a big fan of Top Trumps cards. Right. We're going over the terrain for the last time. Coming to land. Good stuff. Altitudeometer. Speed reduced. There we go. As it refuels the plane again. And give me more and more bombs. Well, I hope you liked having a look at that one. I thought it was quite interesting. Would have gone back to it as a kid, but it's not standout super special, but it's good. So that was the Blue Max on the ZX Spectrum, published by US Gold in 1984. If you've got anything to say about this game or anything similar, then please put those below. A huge thanks to everyone that's subscribed so far, keeping the channel running and helping it grow, making it look like we're getting somewhere, which is brilliant. If you want to help a bit more, there's patreon.com/njenkin. Every bit really does help, and we give shout outs each month in a monthly video for anything you're up to or any projects if you want me to. Until next time, take great care of yourself and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.